Today I am making you a one-pot sloppy joe ground beef and rice. This is the best weeknight meal. It's got the delicious flavors of sloppy joes. We've got ground beef happening here. What I'm going to do now is chop up a bell pepper and an onion, and then we'll get those softening down while the ground beef is browning up. Sloppy joes and me go way back. I can remember on my birthday, I had a party and my mom made sloppy joes in a crock pot. And I love the flavors of it. So we're going to put it into this one pot meal. And here's our vegetables right here. We have bell pepper and onion, which is what I remember in the sloppy joe. I'm going to cut these pretty big, or you can definitely do them smaller in a dice form. So I'm just slicing my bell pepper and I'm going to run my knife through to make our dices, and then we'll add it to the ground beef. Now you can use colored bell peppers if you want. Add a nice color to the dish. Let's add that to the ground beef. Let's dice up the onion. I'm using a whole yellow onion. It's about a large. Just going to take off this outer layer with the two ends. Pop this off. We're just going to cut it in half. I'm going to cut it into strips. Woo, there we go. Always push your fingers in. Just turn my onion a quarter of the way. I'm going to run my knife through. And then we're going to add this to the bell peppers and the ground beef. It seems like a lot, but let me tell you, onions just melt down. We're going to brown up the ground beef, and we're going to get those peppers and onions nice and softened down, and I'm going to bring you back. Okay, the ground beef is browned up, and those onions and peppers are softened down. What I'm going to do is drain the grease out. I'm just going to use my old paper towel trick. Just push all of your mixture over, and then we're going to put some paper towels in there and drain it out. You know, this will save you some dishes. Yep. We're going to be cooking the ground beef and rice first, and then we're going to make that sloppy joe part of this. So we're going to add 2 cups of chicken broth. All right, add that to your skillet. We're going to put this on a high heat. You want to bring this to a boil. I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of water. I know y'all are asking, chicken broth and a beef dish? Yes. I do this because chicken broth has a lighter flavor and it adds kind of a different element to the dish. If you want to use beef broth, you can certainly do that. You'll just have a different flavor to it. It'll just be more beefier. All right, we're bringing this to a boil. Now I tasted this and I feel like we need to add a little bit of salt and some pepper to it. I was using the low sodium chicken broth, so I'm going to go ahead and flavor with some salt, about 1/4 teaspoon. And we are going to add in some black pepper. There we go. We're coming to a boil here. Let's talk about the rice. I am using a long grain white rice. Now you can use like a basmati rice or a Mahatma rice. I'm going to be putting in 1 cup of the rice into our boiling mixture here. Now I'm using a 1/2 cup measuring tool, so I'll go in twice with the rice. We did have 1 cup of rice and then 2 1/4 cups of liquid. I do that. The ground beef and the vegetables will absorb some of that liquid, and so I add extra for the rice. We're going to stir this all together. Make sure that the rice is all submerged. Now turn the burner down to a low. We're going to place a lid on it. We're not going to remove it for 20 minutes. Then you can remove the lid, give it a check, make sure the rice is nice and tender and all the liquid has been absorbed. We've still got the sloppy Joe part of it. Gosh, it smells good already. That rice is totally tender. All the liquid has cooked out, which is what we're looking for. I'm still going to leave it on the heat, and we're going to add in ketchup, 1/2 cup. 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, some Worcestershire sauce, 1 teaspoon. We're going to shake in onion powder, 1/4 teaspoon, 1/4 teaspoon of some garlic powder, cracked black pepper, salt, mustard, about 1/2 teaspoon. We're going to mix this all together. We want to let this cook for about 4 to 5 minutes so all those flavors get absorbed into the rice and the ground beef. We still got one more thing to do to this to add more flavor. I'm just going to grab a spoon, just kind of give it a taste, see if I need to adjust any flavors. Wow. That's delicious. All right, let me get our final ingredient. Once your 4 minutes is up, just turn off the heat, and we're gonna cover this with cheese. Go into your cheese drawer and pull out whatever cheese you have. It doesn't matter. Mozzarella cheese, Mexican cheese blend, which I'm gonna be using right here, cheddar cheese, Monterey Jack cheese. We're gonna start in the center. We're just going to cover this. When you get good coverage, we're going to put the lid on. We're going to let it sit for just a few minutes until that cheese melts. Put a little bit of parsley on top, just dried parsley. Doesn't that look good? I'm serving it up with a side salad. I made a Caesar salad right out of the bag. Let's take a bite. Y'all, it tastes like a sloppy Joe. It is so delicious. Why put it on a bun when you can make a 1-pot or 1 skillet sloppy Joe ground beef and rice? Give me a thumbs up on this one. Make sure you like this video. Make sure you share it with family and friends so that they can make it also. It's perfect for back to school, nighttime, for your weeknight meal. Yeah, perfect dinner. All right, you guys, I'll see y'all on the next episode. Bye.